You've been there, right? That overwhelming feeling of being completely out of control, as if your mind is on the verge of shutting down, and your body's responding with racing thoughts, tightness in your chest, and maybe even panic. In that moment, it feels like there's no way out. The good news: you don't have to stay trapped in that state. There are scientifically proven methods that can help you break free from a mental breakdown almost instantly. And today, I'm going to show you how to use the science of your own brain and body to get back in control fast. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a breakdown, your thoughts are spiraling, your heart rate is climbing, and you're sure you can't get out. But what if you could stop the whole thing in its tracks? It sounds too good to be true, right? But it's not. Stick with me because I'm going to explain step by step how these methods work, why they're backed by science, and most importantly, how they'll help you feel better in minutes. This is your chance to gain the tools you need to take control of your mind in the toughest of moments. Scene 1. What is a mental breakdown? The science behind it. A mental breakdown feels chaotic. You might feel disconnected, trapped, unable to think clearly. But what's actually happening inside your brain? Well, when you experience intense emotional stress, your brain's fight-or-flight response is triggered, something scientists call the acute stress response. This ancient survival mechanism activates the amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for processing fear and emotions. When that happens, your body is flooded with adrenaline and cortisol, hormones that prepare you to deal with a threat by increasing your heart rate, tightening your muscles, and getting you ready to either fight or flee from danger. However, the issue is that in today's world, the danger isn't typically a wild animal chasing you. It's more often emotional stress or overwhelming life situations. The brain doesn't distinguish between real physical danger and mental overload, so it responds the same way, putting your body on high alert. When you're in a breakdown, you're experiencing this ancient survival mode out of context. Your body is telling you to run or fight, but your mind has no clear target, which leads to feelings of confusion, helplessness, and panic. The good news: we now know how to reprogram this response so you can take back control of your body and mind. It's not about avoiding the stress, it's about learning to manage it before it gets out of hand. Scene 2. How to stop a mental breakdown in minutes. The scientific method. Now that we know what's happening when you're in a mental breakdown, it's time to focus on how we can stop it. Here's where the magic happens. Scientists have found that we can activate certain mechanisms in the brain and body to override the panic response and restore a sense of calm. These methods are rooted in neurobiology and psychology, and they're the key to shifting from a breakdown to a breakthrough. Step 1. Activate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a long, winding nerve that runs from your brainstem to your abdomen. It's like your body's built-in reset button, and activating it can trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming your body down. When this nerve is stimulated, your body moves from the fight or flight response to the rest and digest state. One of the most effective ways to stimulate the vagus nerve is through deep, controlled breathing. Here's the technique. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Focus on filling your lungs completely. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds, ensuring you release all the air from your lungs. Repeat this process for about 1 to 2 minutes. By slowing your breath down, you're sending a signal to your brain. We're safe. Everything's under control. Studies have shown that deep breathing can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 30%, calming your body and mind almost immediately. The best part: you can do this anywhere, anytime, and it works within minutes. Step 2. Engage your body with movement. One of the most effective ways to break free from a mental breakdown is to physically reclaim control over your body. When you move, your body sends signals to your brain that you are actively engaging with your environment, and that things are not as out of control as they seem. It's a simple trick to trick your brain into thinking that it's not in danger anymore. Here are a few things you can do. Clench and release your fists for a few seconds. It creates tension in your muscles and then releases it, signaling to your brain that the danger is over. Jump in place, shake your arms or legs, or even walk briskly around the room. Movement helps release endorphins, the body's natural mood elevators. Try doing some gentle stretching or yoga poses to release physical tension from your body. These movements help you regain a sense of agency, which is vital for calming your brain down. By taking action in your body, you communicate to your brain that you're in control, even when everything around you feels overwhelming. Step 3. Ground yourself in the present. When you're in a breakdown, your mind is likely spinning in circles, jumping from past regrets to future worries. Your emotional state is often clouded by thoughts that are not in the present moment. To stop the mental breakdown, you need to anchor yourself in the here and now. This is where grounding techniques come in, and they're incredibly effective. One of the most popular grounding exercises is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique, which helps you focus on your surroundings and interrupt the cycle of negative thinking. Here's how it works. Look around and name 5 things you can see, for example. I see my phone, my coffee cup, a window, a chair, a clock. Touch 4 things around you and focus on the sensation: a blanket, your phone, a piece of clothing, etc. Listen for 3 sounds in your environment: the hum of a fan, a car outside, the ticking of a clock. Smell 2 things: a cup of coffee, a perfume bottle, or a candle. Taste 1 thing, even if it's just a sip of water or a piece of gum. By engaging all your senses, you're interrupting the panic cycle and reactivating your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic and rational thinking. This shifts you from emotional overload to cognitive control. Scene 3. Proof that this works. Real science and success stories. These methods aren't just theory. They're proven by science and used by professionals in high-stress environments. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that deep breathing can reduce cortisol levels by as much as 30% in just minutes. And did you know that Navy SEALs use controlled breathing to maintain focus during high-pressure situations? So do Olympic athletes and top CEOs. In fact, studies conducted by the American Psychological Association have shown that grounding exercises are an effective way to reduce anxiety and improve emotional regulation. Grounding is used in therapy for people dealing with trauma, anxiety, and panic attacks because it works. Whether you're facing a deadline, dealing with personal issues, or simply feeling overwhelmed, these scientifically backed techniques can help you regain a sense of control and calm your body and mind. Final thoughts. Why this matters and how it can change your life. Now that you know the science and the methods behind getting out of a mental breakdown, it's time to understand why this information is so vital. Mental health is often seen as something you just have to deal with when it gets tough, but the reality is, you can take action to manage it in real time. The techniques I've shared with you today, grounding exercises, controlled breathing, and physical movement, are not just random suggestions. They're backed by decades of research in neuroscience and psychology that prove you have the power to reset your mental state in just minutes. When you experience a mental breakdown, your mind is overwhelmed by stress, but it's not permanent. The key takeaway here is that these feelings don't have to control you. With the right tools, you can regain control of your emotional and mental state. By actively engaging in these methods, you're doing more than just stopping the breakdown. You're training your brain to respond in healthier, more resilient ways. The more you practice, the more your brain becomes wired to handle stress more effectively. This means that over time, these methods will become second nature. The next time stress creeps in, you won't feel helpless. You'll know exactly what to do to regain control. Beyond that, you're giving yourself a powerful gift. In our modern world, stress is inevitable, and mental breakdowns can feel like an unstoppable force. But by integrating these scientifically backed techniques into your life, you're actively building emotional resilience, just like physical exercise builds physical strength. This is an investment in your mental well-being that pays off in both the short and long term. Whether it's a major life challenge, work pressure, or just the regular demands of day-to-day life, you'll have the ability to cope more effectively and return to a calm state much faster. And let's not forget about the power of sharing this knowledge with others. Mental health issues are still something many people feel they have to hide or handle alone. By sharing this video, you're helping to break down the stigma surrounding mental health and providing a resource for someone who may be struggling. It's likely that someone you know could benefit from this information, and simply sharing it can be the first step toward positive change in their life. Think of how many lives could be impacted just by spreading the message that there's a way out of a mental breakdown. In addition, the more we talk about mental health, the more we normalize the idea that it's okay not to be okay. Mental breakdowns are a part of being human, but they don't define us. They are temporary, and with the right techniques, you can move through them with strength and resilience. Lastly, remember that these strategies aren't just for mental breakdowns. They can be used in your everyday life to reduce stress, increase focus, and promote better overall mental health. The power is in your hands. If you feel the weight of stress building, just take a moment to breathe, move, and ground yourself. By doing this, you're taking charge of your well-being in real time, ensuring that you maintain a sense of calm and clarity even in the most challenging moments. So don't wait for the next breakdown to hit before you try these techniques. Make them a part of your daily routine, and when stress does arise, you'll be ready. You have the tools. You have the knowledge. Now it's time to put it all into action. Your mind, body, and future self will thank you for it. Call to action. As we wrap up, I encourage you to start today. Test out these methods and let me know how they work for you in the comments. Did you feel a shift after practicing the breathing exercise? Or perhaps the grounding technique helped you stay present and calm? I want to hear your experience. And if this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. We're all in this together. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button for more science-backed tips to improve your mental health and well-being. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, mental breakdowns don't define you, but your response to them does. Take control, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.